What is going on tonight, guys? I had to throw on the red shirt to celebrate the red week, and we're going into Jackson Hole tomorrow. And I want to talk about some possibilities of what's going to happen tomorrow at that speech. It's bright and early, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern. We're also going to talk about a few different stocks. Ondas did well again today. We're going to look at IonQ, which actually had a green day. I'm unfamiliar with the color, so it was different for me. SoFi. And then we're going to look at Archer as well. We're going to talk about those four stocks and go over some scenarios for Jackson Hole. We'll take a look at the quantum watch list, the heat map, all that stuff. Before we jump in, please make sure to leave a like so more people get to see this and stay informed as we navigate these volatile markets together. Let's go over some potential scenarios for tomorrow. So I think there's three potential scenarios. Scenario one would be the Fed is dovish. And if the Fed is dovish, then I think the market is going to rip because all these stocks have been taking a beating. And if money is going to be cheaper as soon as next month, then that has huge implications for lots of businesses in the stock market. So if the Fed comes dovish, and I almost think that the dovish Fed may be a bit of a contrarian take at this point in time, where I think more people, or let's not get to that yet, but let's talk about scenario number two. So I'm gonna mention Argo in our Discord today. I'm gonna give him credit because he had a very intuitive comment. He's a super smart trader. I'd love to hear from Argo. But he said what's likely to happen is that Jerome Powell is going to use this as a chance to straddle and delay. So that is essentially what has been happening for the past 6 to 9 months. Is we need to see more data. We're not in a hurry to make a decision. I think this is potentially the most likely. And then finally, we have the Hawkish that we're very concerned about numbers we're seeing. We may have to be more restrictive. In that case, I think the market would go down. But I think in either of these scenarios, I think the market's going to be disappointed. And of course, I have to get out my crystal ball and I have to make predictions or kind of think directionally where this is going to go if I'm going to make this content and share it all with you. And I just want to believe that the Fed is going to come in dovish tomorrow. I might be wrong on that. I'm sure that it's a low chance, but that is what I'm hoping for, is the Fed comes dovish tomorrow and we have a clear path to a rate cut. That would be really nice. Now what I think is more likely to happen. What's more likely to happen is that we get a straddle and a stay. All right, so let's look at the heat map, and it matches my shirt. As you can see, the only thing that was green was Chevron. So for those of you out there who are big in Chevron, congratulations, banner day. For the rest of us, it was flat or red as can be. And it's been very interesting to see the price action all week and how like the market is really on edge going into this Fed meeting. And if we look at the futures, which just came out, we're flat on the futures as well. So similar to how the market was running, the VIX is up 6%. In hindsight, might have been good to buy some VIX calls at market close. And then let's take a look also at how quantum did. So let's look at our quantum watch list. And we'll look at aftermarket as well. So quantum emotion came back alive a little bit today. 75 cents a share. I think my average is $1 and change a share. So I'm down on that investment, but I'm buy and hold on that one. IonQ actually ended the day green. I think CLSQ has back-to-back green days and QBT. So some quantum stocks having some bullish price action. Some quantum stocks not having bullish price action would be Rigetti and D-Wave, which have both given up the critical level of $15 a share. Sad to see, but I did take the opportunity to add to my 2026 leaps position, and I'm looking at Rigetti at the 15 strike going forward. Let's take a look at IonQ. I'm going to remove my drawings here. So IonQ has been a sideways king. I actually just had a channel subscriber email me, and if you guys ever want to just drop me a note or anything, just Majid at thequantumbull.com. Love to hear from you. But I had a subscriber who is basically saying he owns a bunch of IonQ and he sells options on IonQ. And I've been saying on the Discord for a while, with the range bound trading we've been having on IonQ, this looks like a perfect situation to just sell an option, sell a call, or whatever you want to do. And there's, in the bigger picture, there hasn't been a big move from IonQ since that day. And I was calling it as a bull flag for a while, but now I'm going to call it the sideways king. IonQ and LAES are in a neck and neck race for who can go sideways the longest. IonQ has held the $40 position and just recently gave up the $40 position. And we've actually seen it look under 40 multiple times. So we saw it back here, here, and here. It's actually broken down further than this initial rally. From that point in time, we've seen the most bearish price on IonQ, and IonQ has made acquisitions. They've posted the numbers. They're an excited company. This seems like a very attractive entry point for me, anything under 40 for IonQ. Let's take a look at SoFi. So SoFi is having a lot of bullish price action in the last 6 months. We can see that at one point, this was a $9 stock, and we closed the market today at $23 a share. And what is the big picture for SoFi from a chart and technicals perspective? The big picture here is we're starting to hit resistance where the stock was when it first hit the stock market. So around 24, 25. It's going to be very critical for SoFi to break above 24.70 so it can go and retest this 28.05 and then potentially make all-time highs. I'd love to see that out of SoFi. All right, so Ondas, our play that we got from Gene Inger, and Ondas has been doing really well. It feels like every time I go and look up Ondas news, there's a new deal. Let's take a look at their news page. So Ondas secures a $2.7 million order from a leading defense customer. Ondas enters in a definitive agreement to strengthen multi-domain autonomy. They're just like an exciting company in the drone space. And we actually saw wider sector. As morbid as this is, there was a drone attack, a pretty big drone attack from Russia onto Ukraine, and drones were used. And then the next day you see Red Cat, you see UAVs, and you see Ondas, their stock price goes up. And the question for me is, are there going to be more drones or less drones used in the future in the military? And the answer is, I think pretty obviously that there's going to be more. So you're seeing like the buying that's coming in. And if we go back 5 years for Ondas, this really does seem like a turnaround point because it's cleared its 52-week high. And now it's starting to hunt 2022 numbers like that $8 or $10 or even that $14 a share. And they had a nice earnings. They came in with a surprise. So I think Ondas could continue running, especially if we get a better backdrop in the market. All right, and Archer Aviation. So Archer, I know one of the members of the Discord was saying Archer is frustrating. I haven't been able to time it right. I get it. Archer has done a lot of this. It's like the big bear AI of the skies. And the frustrating thing about holding stocks like this is that there are moves, there are catalysts that send the stock higher. And there's a lot of excitement and euphoria that comes, but then when that euphoria or the event that push goes away, then you see the stock fade down until the next exciting thing. And from this most recent move, we've given back everything. But if we look at the trend line, this blue line here, this rising support, we've had a couple bounces. So we've had a bounce here, and I'm expecting or hoping that we'll get a bounce off of $9 and change. And I position myself at the $9 strike 2026 option, and I'm hoping to capture potential bounce or upside. And what I'm wanting to see is that Archer will clear 1337, and maybe we can go and knock out all-time highs, which would be 1865. All right, guys, we did that in like 10 or 11 minutes. Hope you like content like this. Make sure if you haven't already to hit the like button. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? And once again, if you ever want to reach out and just say hi, Majid at thequantumbull.com. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. I hope you really enjoyed that content. It's my goal to provide quality content as much as possible and with as little interruption as possible. If you would like to support my efforts and the channel, I offer 3 different membership options. It's super easy to sign up, and it starts at just $4.99 a month. And you just click the subscribe button and you can learn more.